Since moving to America, there has been various aspects of this wonderful culture that I've embraced deeply, one of which is pancakes in the morning. And this is not something I really had growing up in England, maybe once or twice a year, but in America it's seemingly once or twice a month, which is great. But it does come with a couple of caveats, at least for me. Firstly, I really struggle to cook pancakes consistently. I'm always burning them. They're always the wrong size, they're always the wrong texture, which doesn't go down too well when you're hungry and you've got people to feed. And secondly, I find that they're often loaded with ingredients that don't make me feel good. So they might be tasty, but 30 minutes, an hour later, I'm just not really feeling good about eating them. So I asked my wonderful wife here, I was like, Kate, you gotta help me out here. I'm deep in the pancake culture. I wanna fit in here in America. Can you give me a recipe that's easy, nutritious, and makes me feel good eating? So that's what we're going to be sharing with you today. This is Feel Better Eating, the whole food plant-based experience. I'm Joshua, this is my wonderful wife and co-host Catherine, and today we have a banger of a recipe.
So today we're making Peaches and Dreams pancake. So we're going to make it super easy today, and by making a giant omega pancake that takes up the entire pan. This is something where I feel like it puts the true definition to pancake, where it's not just a little pancake, it's a big pancake. And we're calling it Peaches and Dreams because it will exemplify the taste and the beauty of peaches. And it's dreamy because it's unreal how delicious it's gonna be. It's gonna be sweet, salty, crunchy, satiating, all the things that you hope for.
We've got a live audience here at the Grace Learning Center in Michigan City. We appreciate you all being here, and all of the people watching on YouTube, we appreciate your time too. We're gonna get into it.
First step is to make our pancake batter. So we're using today an almond flour pancake waffle mix that is gluten-free and grain-free.
I think the biggest difference between traditional pancakes and what we're going to be doing today is the mix. And the reason we're choosing this is because neither of us do very well with wheat-based flours, which is typical in a pancake. Kind of upsets our stomach. So this is a grain-free alternative that's not going to do that. Adjust the proportions to however many you're feeding. We're going to feed all of these people here, so we're going to use the whole box. But it does give you a quick equation. I'm sure everybody's seen that before. It's not super groundbreaking information, is it?
No. Do you want the scissors?
No.
Oh.
We don't use scissors in England.
Really? I don't believe that. Growing up, pancake mornings were my absolute favorite. They were that time to take in the innocence of childhood when you're waking up from sleepovers or on the weekends with your family. It's a time for connecting with friends and family pancake breakfasts mornings, and I thought it was going to be over for me when I went grain-free, gluten-free, and plant-based, but thankfully there are brands out there, and I'm not alone in this journey of wanting to be gluten-free and plant-based. So this box batter specifically asks for eggs, but instead we're going to make a flax egg, which essentially is flax seed in a container, and we're going to put water in it, and it's going to do its own sciencey thing and glob up and gloop up. So we'll show you
the old
that.
sciencey thing. Talk to me about the sciencey thing.
See, look, that's globby already.
Yeah, it's globby. Do you want more
As
water?
we've talked about in previous shows, flaxseed in general is good for fiber and getting those essential fatty acids. I love in real time when we can show intuitive cooking because you can read a box and it will tell you directions, or you can read a recipe and be like, this doesn't seem right. And so a lot of cooking is intuition, following your intuition of what does this need in order to work for me. So we're using a fork because it's supposed to be adding air while it's mixing.
Whenever I make batter by myself, I don't use a fork, I use a spoon, and it always comes out without the air in. There you go, look. Learning in real time. Yeah, that's going to be great, that.
Right, so you can follow the box or you can follow your intuition when it comes to making these
I think that
gluten-free pancakes.
That flaxseed edition, Kate thought of that about 7 minutes ago before the show, so I think that's pretty good.
The whole concept of a flax egg, you can look it up on the internet. It's just a way to add texture and lightness to...
And science.
And science.
We're going to be adding cinnamon to the batter here.
Cinnamon, I only found this out a few years ago, is actually from the bark of a tree. I had no idea. And I watched a video of these men scraping the bark off the tree, harvesting it, processing it, drying it, and my respect for cinnamon skyrocketed. Not only do I love the taste of cinnamon, I love how it's filled with health properties, like it's an antioxidant, so it reduces inflammation in your body. It's good for your oral health, and it's also good for your heart health.
Right, that looks mixed up to me.
So once you have your batter prepared, you're gonna pick a pan to cook it in. And we're going to put oil in the pan. You don't want to be cooking a lot of oil all the time because it can add oxidative stress to your body. But if you're just doing a little bit every once in a while, occasionally, it's okay. If you want to avoid using the oil and cooking it that way, you could just use a square pan or a round pan and bake it in the oven, and that be the step.
With parchment paper,
With
right?
parchment paper, so then it's not sticking. That's the alternative that we're offering here today. For simpler purposes, we're using the oil in the pan.
And the oil also gives it a brown, crisp texture, doesn't it? It helps give that like
Crust of
crust.
like what we're seeking in this cake in the bottom of the pancake.
Yeah, so do you want to add that?
I'm gonna put this. Usually, if we have our cast iron, we cook it on the stove top and then we get it in the oven. But because the pan we're using today has a rubber handle, we are not going to be putting it in the oven, and we're going to cook it fully on the stove top, but with a lid. Yeah. So there are many ways to fulfill this recipe. There's not just one straight way. Use your intuition, use what you have, and make it work for you.
And what we're trying to do, especially for me doing this, is reduce the amount of steps, because where I go wrong with pancakes is in between rounds, the pan gets too hot. I put too much oil in, then I don't have enough batter. There's just lots of moving steps, and there's like people that need feeding, etc. So if we can reduce the amount of steps, you reduce the amount of risk. So always thinking, less steps is the better.
Is better.
Is better, right? What we're going to be.
Feel better.
Right, should we get that in?
Yep, ready.
All right.
Ready, Freddy. We need a rubber spatula. So now that the pancake is on the pan, it's going to start to bubble. And when the bubbling is completely done, usually you flip the pancake. But instead, we're going to just put the lid on the pan and let it cook all the way through on a low heat.
Yeah.
So you're not going to end up burning it because it's on a low heat, low and slow cooking it.
What we're going to be adding to the top of this pancake?
This banana nut cream that we're about to make for you is going to really shock you in how delicious banana nut cream can be when you go plant-based.
Well, before we dive into that, shall we talk about the history of bananas?
Yes, please.
Everybody wants the history of bananas. So, this is a banana that we all know. It's the most commercially viable one, but this is called a Cavendish banana. There was a plague that basically took out most of the bananas in the whole world. And luckily, some smart man from England who had a hothouse was growing these, the Cavendish. So he took those seeds, spread it back out, they grew them out, and that's what we have today, is the Cavendish. But bananas are actually under threat of plague more than most other grown fruit because we monocrop them so heavily. So because we like this variety, we just grow it everywhere, and that puts them at risk. And unfortunately, there's no solution to the plagues that bananas have, and at any moment that whole food network could go down, and that's not to be doom and gloomy. I'm obviously a very optimistic person, but that is real. So whenever we eat a banana in our house, we have a little conversation with it, we open it up and we say, look, if this is the last one of your kind I ever eat, I will enjoy you. So if you're ever eating a banana, remember,
it could be your last.
Could be your last.
So
how many am I putting in there?
At least 4.
At least 4, really? Right, in the carafe it goes.
So next we're going to be adding nut butter because it's banana nut cream.
Yeah.
We're going to be using almond butter today. We love the alternatives that we can get when available because peanut butter, I found out I'm allergic to over time based on the quality of peanut butter. With peanuts, the way they grow, you're at higher risk for mold, and they use more pesticides with growing peanuts. But if you find a raw or organic variety, or find a farmer that you trust, then peanut butter is like,
it's good.
It's good.
As long as you're not allergic, obviously.
As long as you're not allergic, and that's what I've developed an allergy. So we use almond butter, sunflower butter, cashew butter, pecan butter, tahini, just whatever liquid nutty thing that you have available.
How much you putting in there? You can go heavy on it, I like it, me. The more of this you put in, the thicker it gets, really, that's the...
I'm gonna do at least 4 spoonfuls.
Righteous. And the last ingredient that's going into this is the secret weapon. We're big coconut fans as a family. So much so that we've become infatuated with milking our own coconuts. We milked this one yesterday, and we order coconuts now from Florida from an organic farm that we trust, and we put them through a masticating juicer and it spits out this white nectar that is just magical. And unlike coconut creams that you get from the store that have to have obviously a preservative in to get them from wherever they are to you, this has none of that, and it also has a much higher fat content, so there's not split with water in any way. It's literally just the coconut milk, and we're obsessed with it, aren't we? We provide this for people through our delivery service too, but it just makes everything so much thicker. You also get the, ooh,
oh my gosh! Look at it. Yeah. So it's starting to harden because we put it in the fridge yesterday.
Yeah.
After, and so it's still a little bit liquidy, but the sides are starting to harden.
Yeah.
So that's pure cocoa cream. We call it cocoa pure.
Yeah, and this is a great way to get all the benefits of the healthy fats within coconut. Really good for your brain health. So as we often talk about with a lot of our recipes, after you eat them, I at least notice an improvement in my brain function because the food is nourishing my body. It's providing me what I need to be alert. Whereas when I used to eat pancakes with the hard to process food, my brain would go down in functionality. So this is like pretty cool that you get to eat, feel good, and then operate better. So I'm gonna get you a spoon for that. Put the lid on.
Oh.
I don't know.
Yeah.
If you think it's time for that. Giving the pancake tips now. I've become the coach. Look, this is how you do pancakes.
I thought I
Let
was
me
the
show you the way.
master.
This is how you burn them. How much of this are we putting in? Lots.
At least 4.
4? So that's going to make it real creamy, and we can always add more. I'll be adding more of that to the top of my pancakes as well. So.
I know you want to lick it, but you can't lick it. Just keep the spoon in the...
How did you not want to lick it? I'm like a dog, aren't
I? Now we have to take a short blending break as we make this.
Hopefully a short blending break.
This one is...
No, mate, I don't want no more elevator music. Give me an original banger.
If it's organic,
If it's organic,
put it in your basket.
put it in your basket.
If it's a vegetable,
It is delectable.
put it in your basket.
Put it in your basket.
Ready for it to come out. Dun dun dun.
Oh, it smells really good though.
Wow. So
that's
instead of butter, banana nut cream.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to do that.
We need another dish, really, don't we?
Oh, it's good, that is. Right, let's get on to the peaches, shall we? The main event of the evening. The one that everybody's been waiting for. I can see people out there are like, get to the peaches. So talk to me, peaches, what
You
we doing
said
with
this
them?
was peaches and dreams, and I haven't seen peaches
I haven't seen
once.
peaches and we've been here for 20 minutes.
So here are the peaches. Oh, God bless peaches. Peaches are at the end of their growing season. They actually grow in Michigan. So this is a Midwest local gem. And you can get your peaches frozen, defrost them from frozen, or you can cut up fresh peaches, whatever you're willing to put the time and effort
Whatever
in
you've
for.
got, yeah.
So, but we have a frozen variety and still chunky, and we're gonna try to preserve that chunkiness for it and not over blend it into a puree because we already have a puree here.
So we're going to add in maple syrup again, another thing that's locally produced in the Midwest. This one specifically isn't, but you can get it local here, which is cool. And we like it for its sweet properties.
You don't have to add maple syrup because fruit is naturally sweet, but when I think about pancakes, I think about maple syrup. So you can either
Put it in there on the
pulse
top.
the peaches, or so put it in here or put it on top. So just don't put that much in there, and that'll be good. Is that the pulse button?
Yeah.
Do we want to produce a coffee then in the meantime while we wait for the pancakes?
Sure. So, as we've spoken about, we're very big in healthy cafe mornings. It's a joyous time of our lives together. And a big part of that for us is coffee. And what we have today is, this is called Cognition. This is from our good friend, a small business based in Michigan City. He's been wild foraging mushrooms for a decade. And about 5 years ago, he had the genius stroke to take wild foraged lion's mane and wild foraged chaga and mix it with gourmet coffee beans. He created this product, which is called Cognition, and it is just beautiful. When you drink a coffee, typically the caffeine goes like, and you're like, and then on the other side of that, you like kind of crash, and you can have like some stomach issues, dehydration. That's what I've had. The way I describe this, the feeling is that because there are adaptogens in there, the caffeine uptake is much smoother, and you come down the other side a lot smoother. So it lasts longer in terms of the benefit to your brain and the cognitive function. And it tastes just like coffee, it's just a little bit smoother. So we're going to pour one of these through the trusty machination that we call the Flair 2. I've already preloaded the shot here with 16 grams.
Do you want to get some cream? Cocoa, because it's going to be a cocoa and cognition. Peaches and dreams with cognition and cream.
We have the water hot ahead of time, and this works just like a traditional coffee machine. It's just that the pressure will be applied manually.
Yeah, so you can use a pour over or a French press instead. This is just what we've got.
Yeah. This is just how we like to.
We feel like we get the fullest flavor of the coffee when we do it this way. So, wow.
Ooh.
That looks nice.
That does look nice, doesn't
And we're serving it in a mini bowl.
Because why not?
Oh, so our pancake is a bit different, but it's definitely a cake. It's thick, and it's got a crust, and it's got a nice soft topping to it. So we'll add the banana nut cream.
Oh yeah. Wangle. Oh nice. Come on, you'll get it. Oh yeah. Woo! That's
ridiculous.
That's fully loaded, that. You can't even see that it's pancake, and then we're going to top it with coconut flakes, sprouted sunflower seeds, and raisins. You can choose any topping that you want really here. I also sometimes like other fresh fruit like blueberries, raspberries, realistically whatever you've got, but the sprouted sunflowers are easier to digest because they've got the enzymes reduced and the inhibitors gone because they've been sprouted. And we've got extra coconut, we obviously love that, and we've got raisins too. So we're going to get that on there so it's...
Yeah, so because when you have the banana nut cream and the peaches, it could kind of look like, oh, that's just a bit squishy, that. So adding something with texture and color just changes the dish slightly.
So put this, shall I put the coffee there? Is that bougie to do that?
Yeah, do that.
Oh, yes.
And then we can show Kevin.
Wow, great. Yeah.
Okay.
Great job.
Well, we hope that you can consider this recipe for your next pancake morning, your next brunch gathering. It's something that when I eat it, I feel better eating, so I hope that it can encourage you to find foods that help you feel better eating and living. And yeah, thank you, Joshua, for all your help today.
Oh, pleasure. Thank you for being my co-host, showing us the pancake way. We appreciate you all being here. This recipe is available on our website, feelbetterliving.com. The link will be in the description for you watching on YouTube. And we really appreciate you all being here joining us live. We're excited for you to try this, and we'll see you next time. Much love, everybody. Peace. Cool. We did it.
Well, thanks, guys, for your patience.
Thank you. Right, who wants? I can pour a fresh one.
A big thank you to all of our show sponsors and supporters who make this show possible. The Healthcare Foundation of LaPorte, Grace Learning Centre, Citizens Concern for the Homeless, and ALCO, Access LaPorte County. We appreciate all of your support.